Habang busy ang ating Vice Presidente na mamili kung saan-saan ng samot-saring mga halaman, bulaklak at iba pang mga bilihin, itong Senado at Kongreso ay tila nagbabangayan dahil nga mga kababayan, itong congressman na si Franz Castro ay minamadali at pinipwersa itong ating Senado na umpisahan na agad itong hearing patungkol sa impeachment complaint laban kay BP Inday Sara Duterte. Bumuelta naman itong ating Senado sa pamamagitan ni Senator Chis Escudero. Ayon dito ay hindi pwedeng madaliin nitong mga congressman ang ating mga senador na isagawa ang impeachment complaint dahil napakaraming proseso pa ito. Pinakbakan pa ni Senator Chis Escudero itong si Franz Castro at ibang mga kongresista dahil nga 2 buwan umano na tinambay nila ang impeachment complaint sa Kongreso tapos mamadaliin nila. Parang ang nangyayari ngayon kabayan ay ang Senado pa ang may kasalanan dahil nga hindi umusad itong impeachment complaint. Minamadali kasi ng mga kongresistang ito na maisalang na sa impeachment trial itong si BP Inday Sara Duterte dahil nga tapos na ang 19th Congress at yun nga mapapalitan na ang mga kongresista at pagdating po ng June 2 kung kailan magre-resume o kaya naman sa unang linggo ng buwan ng June ay may ilang araw na lamang pong natitira itong mga kongresista kaya't gusto nilang madaliin para bago sila bumaba sa pwesto ay wala na itong si BP Inday Sara Duterte dahil nga mga kababayan oras na nasa posisyon pa si BP Inday Sara Duterte tapos itong mga kongresista ay wala na sa posisyon, panigurado kawawa sila. Siyempre mga kababayan, hindi naman sila iboboto ng taong bayan dahil nga talagang kilalang kilala ng taong bayan na itong mga kongresistang ito, lalong-lalo na yung suportado ang mga leftist ay hindi yan iboboto ng taong bayan. Kaya't habang nagbabangayan, nagbabatuhan itong Senado at Kongreso, si BP Inday Sara Duterte ay nag-i-enjoy lamang mga kababayan sa pamimili, paggagala-gala, parang wala man lang iniisip. Sabi nga ng ilan natin mga kababayan, ang ginawa ng Kongreso ay isa lamang patibong para sa kanila lang. Kasi nga, pumirma sila at nagkaalaman kung sino ang pumirma, sino yung kongresista at pagdating ng eleksyon talagang mababawian sila. Kaya yung ilang mga kongresista ay nagtatakip na mukha, ayaw magpakilala. Yung ibang mga perma doon sa impeachment ay parang sinulat lamang po ng manok, kinahig ng manok o kung anumang sulat yan. Ang hindi nila alam, matalino ang taong bayan, malalaman at malalaman nila kung sino ang pumirma na yan. Alam nyo naman mga kababayan, meron tayo mga doktor na kung saan ganon na ganon ang kanila mga sulat. Kaya't maiintindihan at maipapakita kung sino ang kongresistang ito. At bago po tayo magpatuloy, ay pakinggan po muna natin itong patotsadahan ni Franz Castro at ni Senate President Chis Escudero.
So, whether kahapon lang yan, no? Or 2 months ago, or 1 taon, na ipinasa ng House of Representatives itong impeachment complaint, ay hindi nawawala yung mandato ng mga senador bilang mga impeachment judge. Kahit na ano pang mga panahon, basta yung ating pong mahalaga itong usapin dito pagpapanagot sa isang impeachable official. Kaya walang panahon yan. Anytime. No? Katungkulan natin ito bilang mga mambabatas na yung ibinigay sa ating mandato ng ating mga ng taong bayan ay gawin natin at huwag tayo mag-passing the buck or mag-pass ng mga sisi. Kaya may panahon pa yan, no? Kahit naman hanggang sa susunod na kongreso ay magagawa pa rin yan. Kaya ang mahalaga lang, no, tugunan natin ang panawagan ng taong bayan. Impeach si Sara Duterte at Economy.
Hindi naman siguro makatarong tama na pagkatapos nilang upuan ito ng ilang buwan. Biglang pwersahin, pipilitin at sasabihan kami ng sino mang galing sa Kamara na, hoy, bilisan nyo, aksyonan nyo, ano ba kayo? Hindi. Hindi ganon at hindi ako papayag din nun. Ang impeachment process para sa akin, hindi mahalaga kung pabor kayo o kontra, hindi mahalaga kung ma-acquit o ma-convict. Ang mahalaga para sa akin, bilang tagapangulo ng Senado, maging maayos ito, sang-ayon sa batas, credible, kapanipaniwala, at magagawad ng hustisya. Pabor man yun sa opinion ng mas nakararami o konti o hindi. Legally, it cannot be done, again, as I said, because the impeachment court was not convened. The impeachment complaint was not referred to plenary for there to be a basis for the impeachment court to be convened by the Senate sitting as a legislative body. Hindi muna as an impeachment court. Siguro mas sila yung dapat kong tanongin yan, hindi ako. Basta ang Senado, gagampanan namin ang tungkulin namin ng, tatagalugin ko ng may malamig na neutralidad ng isang hukom na walang kinikilingan. We will perform our duty and function with the cold neutrality of an impartial judge. And without fear nor favor, we will rule over things as we see fit and based on what is right and what the law provides.
So ayan nga po ang bangayan at patotsadahan ni Senator Escudero at nitong si Congressman Franz Castro. At talagang nagsisisihan sila, talagang natuturuan sila dahil nga gustong-gusto ni Franz Castro na umusad agad itong impeachment complaint. Kasi nga kung sa junto pa ito tatalakayin ay talagang wala na sa oras, gahol na sa oras at panigurado mawawalang bisa itong kanilang pinaghirapan. Kaya talagang porsigido at gustong-gusto talaga nitong si Franz Castro na masimulan agad itong impeachment complaint. Pero talagang hindi pwede at hindi mangyayari yan, mga kababayan. Kahit nga itong kakampi ni Bongbong Marcos, ito si Chis Escudero ay kakampi ito ni Bongbong Marcos, pero wala siyang nagawa kasi nga yung mga karamihan na senador dyan sa Senado ay kakampi ng Duterte administration. Kaya't wala rin siyang magagawa dahil nga nag-adjourn na yung session at magpapatuloy na lamang po sa June 2. At yun nga po ang hindi nila matanggap dahil nga ay talagang naisahan din sila nitong Senado. Akala kasi ng Kongreso ay talagang tuloy-tuloy na kasi nga isang araw ay nakompleto agad nila yung mga perma. Pero 2 buwan nila na inupuan, hindi ginalaw yung papel. So ayun, binawian din sila ng Senado kaya ngayon nag-iiyakan itong mga leftist kasi nga kawawa sila kapag hindi nila napabagsak ang ating Vice Presidente. Kaya't habang nag-iiyakan ang mga leftist na ito, ang ating Vice Presidente naman ay masayang-masayang gumagala, namimili kung saan-saan, bumili pa nga mga kababayan ng mga bulaklak. Sabi nga ng ilan nating mga kababayan, talagang bumili pa si VP Inday Sara Duterte ng bulaklak. Ano ito? Ibibigay ba doon sa 250 na mga congressman na pumirma? Nako. Kaya't sa darating na eleksyon ay huwag po nating kalimutan na iboto ang mga inendorso ni dating Pangulong Duterte. Nandyan si Atty. Jimmy Bundok, Congressman Rodante Marcoleta, Senator Bongo, Senator Bato de la Rosa, Attorney J.B. Henlo, Attorney Vic Rodriguez, Philip Salvador, nandyan din si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, maging si Raul Lambino. At isama na rin natin mga kababayan, si Dr. Richard Mata. At nasa inyo pa rin ang magiging decision kung sino ang iboboto nyo ngayong midterm election. Pumili tayo ng tama, wag yung kandidato na namimigay ng pera dahil hindi yan tama.
Good afternoon po. Please forgive me if I stutter or stall because I don't know why they call me a vlogger. I've never gone on live. I always just write. I'm a writer. In fact, if some of you are actual newspaper or publication writers here, I'm one of you. I'm an editor for Manila Bulletin and for Balita. I don't go on social media. I've never gone on live, not once. I've never been on YouTube. I don't have a YouTube. I'm not monetized. I'm a regular person who criticizes the government on my page, but because I've made powerful enemies, nandito ako. Nandito ako and I'm looking at you and it feels so surreal because I look at you and I'm there. Ako yan Ako yan pag meron kaming kino-cover kasi editor ako ng journal. But now I'm here just because I pissed off Martin Romualdez and Judas Sidra. I just want to share, I've been writing, I've been politically aware ever since Typhoon Yolanda hit my province of Leyte. But nobody has ever, and I'm just writing my thoughts because Facebook says what's on your mind. So you write what's on your mind. But apparently, I've pissed off Martin Romualdez and Judas Sidre. So nandito ako ngayon because I have an uncle who is one of their contractors, one of their big contractors. Tapos matagal na akong sinasabihan, tumigil ka na, bumabangga ka sa pader. And the more they tell me that, the more I realize, parang huwag mo ako papatigilin. Wala, kung may problema kayo sa sinasabi ko at mali, then sue me. You have legal remedies. You have defamation, you have cyber libel, the strictest, one of the strictest in the world. Libel, defamation, I've said defamation. So yun, and I just want to say that Martin Romualdez and Tingog Party List has continued to harass me and my family because we're all from Leyte. So they know my family. I just want you to know that because if something happens to me, it's them. Because if Martin calls my place of work, he's that kind of person. Judas Sidre calls my uncles because yung isang uncle ko, what do you call this, contractor says is small projects doon. Sinasabihan ako na makakadamay ka sa negosyo namin. And, parang, I don't know why I'm doing this, to be honest, because nakakadamay nga naman ako sa kanila, pero we should all learn to fight for our country. Yun lang, sabihin ko lang yun. Tsaka, very quickly, I just want to share what I wrote because Dan Fernandez would not read it, so I'll read it very quickly on why, because he dismissed it so easily as freedom of speech. It's not that simple. So I'll read very quickly on why, after careful consideration, I decided not to go. Aside from the, I know that I'm not going to get a fair, they're not going to listen to us. So first, I am not a vlogger. As I told you, I do not do lives, I do not have YouTube, I only have my Facebook. All my followers there, and DICT can check it, and DI Cybercrime can check it, they're all real, I've never paid for a follower. So, I'm not monetized. So I don't know kung ano yung basihan nila na gagawin ka just because I have followers. Social media vlogger na ako. I'm not monetized. I've never received anything from just writing on Facebook. That's all I do. I just write on Facebook. I don't even talk on YouTube. I am, however, a professional journalist. Ever since 2005, I've been working in publishing. I am currently an associate editor at Manila Bulletin. I'm also the editor of Balita. And what I am is a professional journalist with a social media following. There's a distinction. So, Filipinos, we are protected by the 1987 Constitution, Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 4, Section 2, Section 18. But an extra layer of protection covers all journalists. The Republic Act number 6713 is a code of conduct and ethical standards saying all journalists have the right to demand transparency. Apart from that, we have the SOTA law, which allows us not to divulge our sources. So with all due respect to the HOR, I would like to say that an inquiry whose aim is to regulate social media is unconstitutional. The reason I did not go is I do not support, cannot tolerate, and will fight against the idea of muzzling free speech. If I appear before Congress, it's like me legitimizing them wanting to regulate us. So I did not appear. Because government interference is a no-no and should not be allowed in the area of free speech. Free speech na nga lang ang meron tayo. Yun na lang ang meron tayo against the abuses of their power. Tatanggalin pa nila, sasabihin nila fake news. Kung fake news, kasuhan nyo kami. Meron namang, we have legal remedies for those. So, okay. So I would also like to remind the House of Representatives that power is not forever. The legislation you want to enact now, that whatever you do now, somebody will do to you when you're no longer in power. So be careful how you treat us, because you will be treated like this when somebody else, because I'm sure it will not be you, will be in power the next time. I also take very deep offense that Representative Barbers said that he will invite narco vloggers, pogo vloggers, and fake news spreaders in the hearing, which he has repeatedly said, not just in the halls of Congress, but also in various interviews by media, which done in his home is not covered by his parliamentary immunity. Hindi siya parliamentary immune from saying narco vloggers kami. Dahil sinabi niya yon during his interview with TV stations. He has already pre-accused those who are invited now as narco and pogo vloggers. So I would like to ask Representative Ace Barbers if he has any proof that all of us here are any of those, because ano yung karapatan niya i-regulate yung, because that's his premise that we are funded by narco vloggers, we are narco vloggers, we are pogo vloggers. So in this regard, we will, if he forces us, petition the court for habeas data so that the Congress will be compelled to release any document that show why suddenly he is accusing us of being narco and pogo vloggers. This is damaging to us as Filipinos, as private citizens, and me personally as a newspaper editor, because I've been working for 20 years and not once have I ever been sued by anyone. So, you know, even during the time of Duterte, when I was fighting with people on social media, it was so easy to sue, you know. But I was never sued because I know, hindi ako nag-aral para maging fake news spreader. So, you know, so the term fake news spreader is used liberally by people to diminish the opinions of those they do not agree with. So that's what they're doing now. As for challenging, as for calling us narco vloggers, I am willing, as I am sure everyone here, to undergo drug tests alongside all the public officials. We pay with our taxes. We pay them with our taxes. We have a right to ask them to undergo. Narco vloggers, alam ang narco vloggers, tapos hindi kami nagda-drugs. So let's all take drug test together. Kasi narco vloggers daw kami. Okay, so as I've said, we have legal remedies already provided by the courts. And these remedies are available both to me, a simple Filipino, and to them. Hindi lang kami ang may karapatan mag-sue ng slander or defamation, sila din. Fake news, we have libel, defaming someone, even a public official, can get you sued with defamation. Our cyber libel law is one of the strictest in the world. We have the Revised Penal Code and Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. So all these laws are provided for citizens. Whether you know you can use it, they can use it. Hindi lang naman dahil Congressman si Drilon sued a journalist, so and he won. So it's not as if Ace Barbers cannot sue someone. It's not as if Martin Romualdez cannot sue someone. It's been done before. We could be sued. A congressman can sue someone. So why are they not using it? Bakit ipapatawag kami para dun sa HOR para magawa nila yung gusto nila? It's not a level playing field. We're not going. Hindi naman kami tanga na pupunta kami doon. Tapos gagawin nilang gusto nila sa amin. Gusto nila ng gulo. Gusto nila ng dito sa labas. And then, if gusto nyo talaga kami patawag, hindi namin ibibigay yung sarili namin easily. You will go through legal hoops to get us. Hindi kami tanga, hindi kami aso, na pupunta kami sa HR kasi pinatawag nyo kami. Kung gusto nyo kami kunin, makukuha nyo kami, pero maghihirapan nyo. And malalaman ng buong mundo kung ano ginagawa nyo. We will not allow it. Hindi kami ignorante, we know our rights. And then another one, I will wrap this up quickly. I'm just I have not spoken in many years. So, and also, I would like to share my observation that the invite list is composed of anti-administration bloggers. They have two. Token, pro-admin bloggers, dalawa. So, are they inferring that the fake news spreaders are the critics are fake news spreaders, pero sila hindi. Yung mga tao nila, yung mga bayat nila, yung mga pro-admin bloggers, hindi. Sila nagsasalita ng masama against kay Duterte, nagsasalita ng masama against kay Sara, but it's not considered disrespect. But when we do it, it's disrespect. We're not gonna allow parang double standard kasi bayad namin kayo, our taxes are paying for you. Also, another one I'd like to share on a personal note. So, sila, gusto nila protected sila from fake news, from defamation. Paano naman kami? Ako, I will share personally. A few weeks ago, June Asidre of Tingog Party List posted on his Facebook. Because during the pandemic, myself, Mark, Attorney Trixie, and Dr. Ethel, we tried raising money for PPEs. Tapos, sinabi namin dun sa Duterte administration that whatever we raise na money, ibibigay namin sa inyo so that you have extra money. Kasi nung time na yun, everybody was panicking. I didn't think we had enough money. Tapos, hanggang umabot kami kay Seth Son ng Department of Finance, and he said, hindi namin tatanggapin yan kasi matatie up yan sa red tape because whatever we buy, ang pinaka-best is you find a way to buy. This was during the time na ang hirap-hirap makabili ng PPE. You find a way to buy, and then kayo na mag-distribute sa hospitals, which we did. To just destroy my credibility and reputation just because I attacked his boss, Martin Romualdez, June Asidre posted that I stole the money. Parang he said, oh, really, ganyan. But the thing is, kahit disorganized ako, organized sila. So lahat ng nag-receive, they have pictures, we have like, and more importantly, that's a private fundraising. Hindi yan taxes ng tao. That's a private fundraising event, and we were accountable to all our donors. So ginamit nila yun. So just because they want to use something against you, kasi hindi naman pwedeng awayin ka nila, tapos wala silang gagamitin sa'yo, so ginamit nila yun from 2020. Between 2020 and now, we've done a lot of efforts for relief, disaster relief, pero yun ang ginamit nila. Unfortunately, sa kanila, meron kami proof, which we try to do always. So ang gusto kong itanong sa HOR, one of your own defames or slanders a regular person like me, Congressman, what is my legal remedy? Bakit kayo lang ang may karapatan magpatawag? Pwede ko bang ipatawag si Jude dito? Can I just sue him? Because if I can sue him, I will. You know, parang, so yun ang sinasabi ko, parang abuso. Baka akala nyo, kami lang to, but if it happens to me, it will happen to all of you. If it happens to all of us here, and we're all educated here, it can happen to, eto kasi, this is the idea, mag-election na. This is the perfect time for them to shut us up. This is the perfect time for them para matakot tayong lahat at atakihin sila. Pero we cannot do that not just for ourselves but for our children. Kasi we cannot allow them to just do whatever they want without them being checked. Kasi sa kanila na lahat eh. Executive, legislative, sana yung judicial hindi. Pero pag pati tayo pinatahimik, wala nang mangyayari sa Pilipinas. And you know, some of us can turn a blind eye, some of us hindi natin kaya i-switch off yung passion natin for loving this country. And finally, I just want to say that, sorry about this, I'm not very used to speaking. So lastly, ang sabi nila, ang issue nila troll farms, we have proof about troll farms. Ang mga pages nila, pag binasa ninyo, it's trolls. Kahit sinong Pilipino na hindi magaling sa social, you don't have to be an expert to identify trolls. But they're not in the listed invitees. Kami, now we all have our faces, we show our faces, you know who we are, we don't have anything to hide. We're the trolls. But the people they employ, and we know who they are, and we will reveal their names in Congress, in HOR. Yung mga binabayaran ninyo, yung mga heads ng social media pages ninyo na dati ganito lang ang buhay, tapos ngayon sobrang social na, we know who they are, we know how much they pay the troll farms. So, bakit kami ang nandito? Pero sila na, kung concerned kayo sa troll farms, huwag kayo, ipatawag nyo din yung mga taong binabayaran ng mga kaalyado ninyo, because it's not fair. So just to reiterate, the reason that I am not going, and I will not go until the Supreme Court forces me to, is that, there's a law or whoever tells us to go, but they're not going to get us that easy, is that first, to reiterate, we refuse their invitation because the hearing to regulate social media, the regulating social media, i.e. free speech, is against my principles, against the Constitution,